It's Alex Slagu for the Mr.Smalls YouTube page, and today I'm here with Motion City Soundtrack. You guys are here tonight to do the 10th anniversary show for Commit This to Memory.
Truth, you speak the truth.
How's it feel for you guys that the record has had such a lasting power with fans?
I mean, it feels amazing. You know, we're, how many days in? 10 days in? Something like that? And there's just tons of people coming to these shows, and they're all singing super loud. They know the words, they know the parts, they're bouncing around, they're, flying over each other. It's just a lot of fun.
Yesterday we had a fan who loves Monsters Invisibles. The last time we were playing that song, and this couple was out in the audience, and they got engaged during the song while we were playing it. And, I saw that happen, and then they're like, she's got a tattoo about the song. It was really important to her, and and then she said she was at an MCS show 7 years ago and saw someone get engaged. And she's like, oh, that'd be a great dream of mine to get engaged at an MCS concert, and then that's what happened.
These people were like, yeah, I listened to Motion City and now I have a family, I have a father, but I still went to the show last night. How does, is that weird for you guys to see? It's like...
Well, it's interesting too, because there was somebody who was there that seemed fairly young, and she said oh yeah, I was 12 my first concert when this record came out, and I came with my parents, and then now they're 22 or out of college or whatever, and then there's some people who were 30 when they first heard us, and now they're 40 and they have teenagers of their own, so it's just, it's crazy. I don't understand it, but I love it.
What do you guys remember about recording Commit This to Memory?
That record was a lot of fun to make. We got really lucky. We got to go to California for the first time to make the record and live in California. And we had rented a house that had a studio in it and a pool. I mean, we're from Minnesota. Houses don't have pools, although you had a pool here.
Well, it was a half above, half below.
But anyway,
circular thing.
It was great. It was great, and we really enjoyed being in this, summertime all the time.
It's such a weird, foggy time for me because, personally, I was going through some stuff, so I was kind of trying to get my life together, and so I don't know if I have a lot of, I don't know. It was just weird. I was working on myself while working on a record, so I kind of, the lines are blurred between the two.
Me to ask you guys, how do you guys come up with some of your lyricism? Specifically, one of my friend's favorite lines is, "In everything is all right, head for the hills, the kitchen's on fire."
The kitchen's on fire. It was a drunken excursion in the bathroom one night where I had some sort of flammable hairspray or something, and I was just it was just fun to don't do this, but it was fun to shoot it around. I was like, whoosh, and suddenly I just the towel started on fire, and I was like, oh shoot! Although I said a different word, and then I turned on the water, and I was like, it was one of the it's in a movie maybe it's kind of funny, but in real life it's just I'm drunk and stupid. And then so I started my bathroom on fire, but I changed it to kitchen for the sake of the song, because kitchen sounded better to me than bathroom.
Yeah.
That's kind of...
The last album you guys did was Go, back in 2012. What was it like recording that? Just because to me, it seemed a little bit lighter and more adult than most of your other stuff.
I'd say that's a fair assessment. I think we each have different ideas of what that was like. For me, I learned something very important, and I tried to do something very specific where we kind of went into the studio with, I don't know, sometimes just a guitar riff or a melody or something. It was very different. Every record before that, we had at least a couple of songs. And I think we had some songs going into this one, but there was a lot of things that we built in the studio. We're like, ooh, let's play this for a while. Where can we go from here? Ooh, let's try that. Ooh, let's try that. And then maybe we'd scratch an idea, and then we'd start over the next day and do a different song.
One thing would be we're working on something, and then we're just you know what, we're just not feeling this right now. What inspires anybody? And then we just pull up the ideas that we have that inspire us, even if it's just a lick or whatever, and then we just we dive down that path for a while and see if a song happened.
That record definitely was it was very transitional for us, and I don't know, we were very unsure of ourselves, I think, at the time, but we wanted to be confident and move forward and do what we wanted to do, and be a band and just pay for everything ourselves and move forward. And I think it was great, and it's just a very different, like if you look back at that record, it sticks out like a sore thumb, but I like that.
I agree.
You know, in a way, it's a chapter in our story as a band.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is we did the exact opposite with our new record that we just made. We literally, figured the songs out and we nailed them down. and then we went in the studio.
But that was actually terrifying as well, because we'd never, our producer said, hey, we're going to go in the studio for 2 weeks. And
That's
we're like,
it.
really? We normally take minimum 6. And then he's like, we're going to track live. And we're like, really? We've never done that. So that was scary, but we did it. It was awesome. I think it's a really great way to work.
Talking about it over and over, and we kind of gone back from that. I think multiple times I was like, Matt, we should record something live. And he's like, yeah, but no. More than once. More than once. He's like, I like the idea, but we're terrible. And I was like, oh shit, and then.
But we proved it to ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. We always told how our live show was awesome, and we're like, oh, we're just playing the songs, we're having fun, and we're like, let's try to achieve that on a record, and that's what we went for, and I think it was awesome. I definitely would do it again. I think,
I'm sorry, I think I owe you. What was it? Midwest Aftermath. The rumors start to rise. Can I truly do the things that you've described? Certainly,
I'm guessing getting any other details about your guys' new album is just not going to happen.
Well, it depends on what the question is.
Release date?
Nope.
not
That's
gonna
what I thought.
No, it's not. It's yeah.
We just don't have it yet. We don't know exactly. There's some debate.
Yes.
Fair.
This year.
What would you guys say is your favorite memory from playing here and about the city of Pittsburgh in general?
I really like. I don't know how to phrase this without sounding weird and egomaniacal. Is that it? Megalomaniac. But it's great being on stage in an ex-church and just because it's like and it's not like about me or us per se, but it's like I love that there's this place. And then people come and they're just into the music, and I wish that could be what church was. but it's just fun to look out and to see like the building and that, and it's just I don't know. It's a very unique place to play.
We here at Mr. Smalls, we run Creative.Life.Support, which is a nonprofit organization that helps kids in foster homes and lower income housing get into music and get a way to enjoy music and see if they like it more. So what would you guys give advice to them, or just really anyone getting into music? What advice would you give them wanting to get into this field?
I think that the biggest thing with any of this stuff is that you just have to find either if it's listening to music, if it's playing music, if it's trying to run a business about music, whatever, you have to be motivated by your undying love for it, because it's a not very forgiving thing, but the great thing about music is you can just lose yourself in the actual music, which that's kind of the end goal, I think, is to be just attached, on a real personal level to the music.
I would concur. Yeah.
Listen to a lot of records. I know that sounds silly, but listen to every type of music that you can, I think, and play along with it, and then play with friends and people. So I remember the first time I played in loud rock music with 3 other guys. It was the best feeling I've ever felt. You don't understand it until you do it, and it's a really powerful thing. It's still like the most, I get to do it every day, which is I'm very fortunate for that, but it's still a very powerful thing.
You guys have anything else you'd like to add for the Mr. Smalls YouTube page, or just your fans in general?
To Mr. Smalls, thank you for having us for so many years, year after year, over and over, and to the people who are coming to the shows, thank you for keeping coming to the shows, keeping coming. Thank you for coming. Come again. Thank you for the years of rock and roll.